So Representative Drazan, Senate Minority Leader Daniel Bonham announced today that he will be resigning next month. Just first question, what's your reaction to this news?
Senator Bonham has just been an extraordinary, strong leader for our area. And I am extremely proud to have worked with him. He's been an invaluable partner. I was, as House Republican leader, he was Senate Republican leader. We work well together. And I am happy for him that he has made a decision for himself. And I'm grateful for his service.
He also endorsed you to be his replacement in the Senate for the rest of his term, which ends in January of 2027. Is that a position that you are interested in?
Yes, I will pursue the Senate appointment to complete his term, and I'm honored to have his support.
Okay. And I know we talked about just before this recording kind of the process that will happen or have to happen in order for someone to be appointed his replacement for the rest of his term. It's going to involve all four counties in his district, being Multnomah, Clackamas, Hood River, and Wasco. Those, I know that you share some of Senator Bottom's jurisdiction, but not all of it. When you look at how four counties are going to be voting on this, do you think that you're kind of do you think that you're going to be a good candidate for all four of these counties?
I feel really strongly that this is a real opportunity to just continue the extraordinary leadership that Senator Bonham engaged in support of our communities. And I'm going to work for their support, and I'm going to ask for their support for this position. And I look forward to those conversations. It starts off with our own Republican Party. This appointment will be a Republican, and we'll have the opportunity to have those conversations among our own members in our own party, and then move ahead from there to talk to our county commissioners. And I absolutely am anxious to be a part of that process and respect the decision that's made at the end of that.
I'm curious if there was much lead up to this announcement by Senator Bonham that he would be resigning in October. Did you know that he was going to make this announcement today?
Senator Bonham, unfortunately, was one of the many members that was impacted by ballot measure 113 during the lengthy walkout. And so, his decision for his timing for when he would leave his legislative service was entirely, private for him. And certainly the fact that he could not run again for this seat meant that it was up to him, how he made that decision, whether or not he chose to complete his term or not. But I certainly think that this decision is one that I'm grateful that he's willing to support me to replace him for the remainder of his term.
So do you think that his resignation was kind of taking taking advantage of an opportunity to put another Republican who can run for reelection into a powerful seat in the Senate?
I don't think it's anything quite so calculating. Senator Bonham is an extraordinary leader, and he's going to do great things for the state no matter what he chooses to do next. And this was his decision, and I'm sure that he'd be more than happy to answer some of those process questions about it. But there's no doubt this seat, it's important to continue the strong representation that he offered this community, and I believe that I will be the best person to continue in that tradition, and I'm grateful to have the opportunity.
All right, so if it wasn't a calculated or political decision, do you know why he chose to resign?
I think that he is the one that's going to be best to answer that question.
Absolutely. We're hoping to hear back from his office
Yeah,
today. I know that he reached out immediately.
I'm sure he'll
Yeah.
be happy to talk about his thinking about it. But I can tell you that this is an opportunity to continue to fight for the future of our state, and I think that every single day, more and more of us recognize how important it is to do more, to do all that we possibly can to try to turn our state around. We're in a bad spot, and certainly the Senate is an important piece of that.
Obviously, you have run for governor in the past. Are you considering another run for governor, especially if you were to get the Senate seat?
There's no doubt that I will always do everything I can to fight for the future of our state, which means that I will look at every opportunity to do more and to engage in whatever way I can to stand up for Oregonians. We have single party control that isn't listening to Oregonians. We saw that in this last transportation tax debate. We had 93% of the people that sent in comments that said, I don't want this, I can't afford it, please don't pass this tax. And we anticipate in just a couple of days that they're going to be ignored. It's possible that Democrats will change their mind and listen to Oregonians, but it's also possible that they will they will ignore the voters of the state, the constituents that they're there to represent. So absolutely, I will look at every opportunity I can to continue to fight for the future of the state. I love this place and I care about it, and I think that that's how we all feel right now, is that we all have to do more.
In your opinion, how important of a moment is this for the Oregon Republican Party? You have shifting leadership potentially. If you were to pursue and get this appointment, then that would be changing leadership in both houses. Just how important of a moment is this for the Republican Party?
You know, it is critically important that we have good leaders in our legislature, and it's also critically important that we have good leaders in our local governments and across our state. So while this is a transition period and there is change involved in this, I feel really strongly that the people that will step into these roles are more than prepared to meet the challenge.
Okay. That's my questions for right now. Any other thoughts that you have as this kind of process gets started here?
No, but thank you for the time today.